This is a rambly video. This is full of too much information. I am being very open. Actually, it took me weeks to put my thoughts together to even decide to share this with you. The more baby doesn't come, the more things around the house get done. I do worry about my son being an only child, the big age gap. I basically thought if I was able to talk to myself, to my older self, what would I tell? Hi friends, welcome to this video, which is going to be rambly. It's going to be TMI and it's going to be about lots and lots of chatting. So grab a cuppa, whether it's a coffee or tea you like, or even just a cold drink, come and bring it along, and then we'll get on to the things that I want to mention 6 months on after my miscarriage. If you are new to the channel, I am Alina Ghost. I do daily mum shorts and 2 long form videos a week as well. So I've had quite a few new subscribers, so let me start from the very beginning. I've been very open with you guys about my miscarriages, especially the one that I had last year in September. By the way, if you notice a little bit of an energy or lack of energy from me today, is because I'm under the weather. It's like day 4 and I've got like a bit of a runny nose, which has actually calmed down, which is great, but like zero energy whatsoever. If I didn't just finish a period, TMI already, but I would have thought that I'm like pregnant in terms of like, you know, the first trimester where it saps all of your energy. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm waking up exhausted, but basically not feeling very well. So that is the lack of energy at the moment, but I hope that doesn't defer you guys from what we're going to be chatting today. So essentially, it's 6 months since my miscarriage and we have just been continuing trying, but not like actively trying. The first few months it was more like, oh well, let's not use contraception and just see how it goes. I also fell ill during Christmas as well, so that wasn't nice. I seem to be always ill during Christmas, but yeah, anyway. And then the last month or so we've been trying actively, but ultimately I thought I was pregnant in January. I even had a late period. I had all the symptoms, so potentially it could have been a chemical pregnancy, as they call it. But nevertheless, even though I got my hopes up, and you know how it is, like you're trying not to get your hopes up, but you do. You're convincing yourself that you're pregnant, and then the period comes, and then it's basically never nice, is it? But basically I've decided to take a different approach to my mental health, or like how I approach or think about getting pregnant and like again, and basically having another baby, which I'll talk to you guys in a sec. And then also my physical health. I think it's personally so important to like just basically keep my exercise up. And I tell you this even though I'm physically bad in terms of like illness and everything, but I'm going to talk about some vitamins that I've been taking as well, and potentially some things that you can help you guys along, ovulation, you know, apps and things like that. So I've already mentioned the fact that I have had miscarriages. So I actually had my first miscarriage before my first child, so my son is now coming up to 4 years of age, which is crazy. It like flew by, and it's been such a crazy world because obviously he was born during COVID, which were crazy times in themselves. But yeah, basically I had a miscarriage before him, so I know. And when I was talking about like my mental thoughts and how I think about and approach miscarriages, pregnancies and next baby and everything like that, I hold on to that, knowing that like I've had a miscarriage, we kept trying. I basically got pregnant 3 months later, and Aiden is now with us. He's nearly 4, which is crazy. So then after that, I'm pretty sure I've had a couple of miscarriages too in between us trying on and off. The other thing I've been recently doing is just researching around the subject a little bit more. I feel like I need to know more and like have other people's experiences. I want to know more about like the facts and research that's being done, and some of those things is basically if you have a miscarriage, it's like a very common thing. Actually 1 in 4 ladies have miscarriages, but like to give you an example, we actually, so I've got a friend, a bunch of friends, and I'd say 4 out of 5 of us no, 4 out of 6 of us have had miscarriages. It's not to say that because it's common you can't grieve. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, do what you need to do in order to process this. And I did a video around the things that like you can help yourself to improve your mental health and like your physical health, and basically to help you process the miscarriage. So I'll link that down below for you guys in case you're interested. Another fact that I came across is some people are suggesting like you should try straight away because you could be a lot more fertile. However, from the research that was done, it seems like it was ladies, like it suggested there was younger ladies. I don't know why I got that impression, and the fact that they were just newlyweds. So I'm guessing maybe age had something to do with it, but also it was a smaller pool of people, so around 600 ladies that were followed. So potentially trying straight away is okay, but if you need that time to grieve and actually to get better, to a better state, I was watching one of the ladies. I'll actually link that video down below. She's on YouTube. She's a doctor who's obviously specializing in this stuff, and she said giving your cycle 1 or 2 months to actually get back to the rhythm of things is probably a good approach to trying again after miscarriage. So I thought that was quite a cool one, and actually something I would recommend as well. Like the fact that it's like you had like a fresh period after your miscarriage, and then you can carry on after that too. And then it was less more research and more of just like comfort and like a guilty pleasure. I ended up finding a new podcast. It's called Tits, Tums and All Things Mums, and actually I'm going to be one of the guests there as well soon, so do subscribe to the podcast. It's awesome. One of the episodes, actually a number of episodes, mentioned like fertility, infertility, but one of them was specifically around miscarriages, and this lady simply didn't know why she was having miscarriages, and it was really like a light bulb moment for me, because she was talking about, obviously, don't ask other ladies, oh, when are you having your baby, straight after they got married, or like when are you having your second after they had their first child, and things like that. So it was more around her processing the fact that the doctors can't find why she's having miscarriages either. She's had a first baby too, so the fact that she's talking about her whole relationship with her child, around how they're growing up, and asking about siblings and things like that. But it was a light bulb moment for me, in the sense that I decided from then on that I won't be waiting around to have another baby to enjoy my current child. So like I fully am integrated in the fact that I will be giving 110% to my son, having fun with him, and not thinking, oh, it would be better if you had a child, like I had a second one. I want to enjoy him and just him. And so in my mind, I've now decided, like, if it is just him, let that be it. Like, he's such a lucky boy. He's gonna end up with hell of a load. Like, we could spend loads of money on him. He can have like the property once we finish paying for the mortgage, you know, that kind of stuff. He can have all the clubs, all of our attention. At the same time, I wouldn't say no to a second baby. I want my mind to be here, to be in the present, to enjoy the present moment and the present time. But at the same time, I totally understood why the lady on the episode was having such a hard time, because ultimately they say if you've got 3 miscarriages or more that are concurring, so one after the other, then it's worth speaking to a specialist, finding out your options, whether it's IVF or other avenues that you can have children with. So yeah, basically that's my approach at the moment. I'll come back to you in like 6 months, maybe a year, see what happens and if I've changed my mind. But yeah, basically I feel like I'm gonna enjoy now, see how it goes. I've got all this time in the world. I've only turned 34, right? So although time is sort of against me, at the same time I've still got time, and I'll keep trying. We'll keep seeing how it goes, and in the meantime enjoy all my time that I can with my family. In the meantime, it does not mean that I don't have worries. I do worry about my son being an only child and being very spoiled good and bad, I guess. But then secondly is the big age gap. So if I am to have another one, how old is he going to be, and is that age gap really large? Like me and my sister actually had a 6.5 year age gap, so I can see pros and cons to that, which is quite interesting. But at the same time, like, it worries me to think, oh, like, what kind of family dynamic are we going to have? And then the next, like, annoyance or worry that I've got is the fact that I can't plan for anything really unless it's within the 9 months. So to give you an example, I've gotten my niece, who's 9 years old, to read Harry Potter. She would call me up, then FaceTime me, and then she would like read the books, and I'd know them off by heart. I'd even know the words, and you know, I'll see the movies as well. So I've recommended why if you read 3 books, then at the end of the year we'll go to the Harry Potter world. So like, I would love to do that, and we want to book early and make sure that we get to the Christmas slots and the good slots as well. But at the same time, I'm finding it quite difficult to like set a date, in the hopes that because we're trying, like, maybe I'll be like heavily pregnant by then. Should I be doing it? So basically we decided to delay the buying of the tickets for a little bit, but at the same time I can't plan anything else past that, which is frustrating. So we are planning to do an extension next year, so that's something that maybe is at the back of my mind. Maybe I'm stressing out about that already, potentially, but at the same time, like, if we want to also go away during that time of the extension, I don't know if I can do that, or like, what places should we go to? Because am I catering just to one child? Am I catering to now a newborn and a child? So that is quite a difficult one. So basically planning ahead is a little bit more difficult. But as I said, guys, this is a rambly video. This is full of too much information, but I'm hoping that you guys don't mind coming on this journey with me. I am being very open. Actually, it took me weeks to put my thoughts together to even decide to share this with you, because like, ultimately it's like any fertility journey, any pregnancy, any like having babies, like, it's so personal and it's so individualistic as well. So the fact that I'm doing this, I've got guts to talk to you guys right now about like being so open about something that's so personal. I just really hope that you guys don't ask me every month, am I pregnant, am I pregnant yet? Because that's going to be heartbreaking. So I appreciate the concern, but please, no messages like that. So let's circle back around to what I said earlier, and that's around health, so physical health. So what I've started doing is actually taking fertility vitamins. So when I say that, I am using a very well recommended brand, which is Wild Nutrition. I watch another YouTuber who recommends it all the time as well, because they're naturally grown, and it's like vitamins that we and our body actually recognizes as nothing extra that we don't need, and they come in sachets. But essentially she has a what is it called, a discount code. So I'll mention her channel, who is Josie. So I'll mention her channel and her discount code below, guys. So make sure to get your, I think it's 15% off. But essentially, like, I've been using that for like about a month, and I don't know whether it's that placebo effect. I've always been taking vitamins. I've had vitamin D, I take vitamin C, iron's very important for me as well. And then the other one, oh, folic acid. I usually take it when I think that I'm pregnant, but at the same time you could be taking it as extra. But yeah, basically it could be a placebo effect, because I did feel better straight away after taking them, like the days on. However, during that period we also had like Valentine's Day, my birthday, lots of celebrations as well, like family birthdays and things. So potentially I was feeling good and better because I was doing all those things, who knows. But essentially that really felt like that helped my health, and as soon as I stopped them I felt ill. So perhaps I should just continue taking them and stop being silly and not forgetting to take them too. Quickly, future me is butting in because I forgot to mention a couple of things, and that's around using ovulation strips. We've not actually been using that in the past 6 months since the miscarriage because I don't know what I've done to it. I had a box somewhere, and instead of buying some new ones, I wanted to go have a look at the old ones. I've looked everywhere, I still can't find them, so I think I'm gonna have to give in and have a look at ovulation strips. Basically, these worked for us because we sort of pinpointed the area where we have to like every single day try, but also it gives you a bit of more control. I guess I feel a little bit more in control of that kind of stuff, but at the same time I don't feel like I need to, because I think I know my cycle, and therefore you can usually predict what those days are going to be within your cycle. Because my cycle is like a whole month, I know that from about day 14 to day 17 is definitely my peak times for ovulation. But yeah, it could be different for everybody else, and like if it gives you a bit more peace and control over those times as well, then I do definitely recommend just like easy strips that you can try out. I've tried high-tech ovulation strips as well, where you like plug it into like a thing that actually tells you a smiley face or not a smiley face. So those are pretty high-tech and pretty cool, but you can buy the cheaper ones where you just like test your urine and as well. So either way works out and actually gives you a little bit more control that way. The other thing that I was going to mention is the fact that I promised to talk about the app or apps, but I didn't. So there's a couple of apps that I've heard of. My friend was actually really surprised when I told her that I don't have an app to, like, I guess it's for ovulation again, but to know your cycles. I actually just write down the dates in the notes section on the phone, just so that I'm a little bit more aware around like when is my next one due. Also, I know whether I'm late. I don't like to take a pregnancy test unless I'm late when it comes to like my period. But yeah, basically it's also a great way to pinpoint. It's usually around obviously a couple of weeks into your cycle that you ovulate, and therefore by knowing those dates you can sort of predict it, where you have to like continuously try. But yeah, basically if you want to use an app, then there's a couple at the bottom that I'm going to recommend. However, I don't want to recommend it right here because I haven't actually used them, so I don't know how good they are. So yeah, from my opinion, like even just having a note section and writing like your dates down there, but otherwise check out an app that might be good for you. The other app that I was going to recommend is a Natural Cycles that I've heard about, but you do have to pay for it. I was a little bit annoyed that I couldn't do the free, I say couldn't, I didn't want to try the free version of this app, because when it says free, you actually have to buy the thermometer. But I've got a thermometer at home, so why can't I just use a thermometer that I've got in my cupboard? You know, I don't want to purchase an extra thing, especially if it's a free trial, like not knowing if I'm going to continue it. However, it's an app that says they're the only ones who allow you to, whether to not get pregnant or to try and get pregnant, and basically it just like keeps your cycles and understands your body a little bit more by your temperatures. That's as far as I understood. It could be a lot more than that, I don't know. But yeah, basically it's another app that you could potentially sign up for. The other thing I've been doing is exercising. It's a non-negotiable for me to go walk the dog every single day at least, or like have a walk or do some exercise, and essentially that's been good for my health in general anyway. I love to get out, especially in the woods area that we've got nearby, or like a country park or anything. So apart from that, I've also cut down on alcohol. If I did have some alcohol, obviously it was for my birthday, but it wasn't anything excessive, and I plan to continue to cut down alcohol because that's one of those things that they say like doesn't ruin your health, but like doesn't help it. Who knows? I want to see more research on that, so if you know more about alcohol than I do, feel free to comment down below. And then in terms of mental space, mental health, I've been really looking after that as well, looking after myself as much as I can, because that helps me basically just feel better. And I've been, as I said, thinking about these things in a different way. Like, if this is it, what do I want to achieve in life? What do I want to enjoy in life? Like, what are the things that I like, and continue doing those things as well as work at the same time. So that's what I've been doing. I've been working, I've been keeping myself as healthy as possible, and I've been keeping myself busy. The more baby doesn't come, the more things around the house get done. So this month we've basically sorted out the porch. We had a new door, and a DIY makeover video is coming to you next week. So once all of those things are done, let's hope that there will be an addition to our family. Look guys, I'm going to end with this. Essentially, it's not nice. Going through a miscarriage is not nice. You've got the physical ailments, you've got the mental capacity that you need to use up to be like, okay, well, I thought I'd be due on this day, but then you're no longer due on that day, or like you thought baby will be here at a certain point. And obviously these things, expectations change, so it is hard. However, once that is out the way, it's also shit because you've got more time to wait. I think it's the frustration. I think it's the frustration that I have to wait a long time, that I have to give it time. And as a millennial, I'm not very good at that. I want things here, I want things now. But I understand, and I'm trying to slow myself down. And if you're anything like me, just give it time, and it's a blessing in disguise. We'll know about it sooner or later. Like, I was thinking the other day, going through these woods that I don't go into often, I basically thought, if I was able to talk to myself, to my older self, what would I tell me? And I think I decided on the fact that I'd be like, just don't worry, just stop, like relax, enjoy the process, and things happen for a reason. So I think if when my older self comes back to that spot as well, let's say 5 years time, I would be telling myself the exact same thing. So I take my frustrations and I think about those to quench those frustrations basically, and I feel a lot better for it. Essentially, I wanted to end with the fact that it's but let's stay positive, let's look on the brighter side, and let's give it time. Once again, thank you so much for coming on to the journey with me. I hope to bring better news next time. If not, let's talk about it some more, see how we get on, and I'd love to know your personal journeys as well. Everybody's personal journey is so different, but at the same time, let's club together, let's create a community of all these things that like happen individually, but at the same time is so common to so many of us. So thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.